Hey, it's Anne from stampmaven.com. Today I'm here with a simple card. We are just going to use stamps, paper, and ink. I've been thinking a lot lately about what's going on in the world, the price of gas, the price of food, and I wanted to get back to basics because I know there's a lot of you that love to craft. You love our Stampin' Up! Products, but maybe right now you just don't have a ton of extra money to spend. So today's card is just stamps, paper, and ink, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make it. Now, I am using some of our artistically inked designer series paper that is going to be retiring in April, but you could easily take your artistically inked stamp set and just stamp your background, kind of like I did here on the inside. So we are going to start with a piece of basic black 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I have cut it down to 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to give it just a good crease with my bone folder. Then this is, I'm going to turn it this way, this is a piece of the designer series paper. Normally I would cut it on the front to 5.25 by 4, but I didn't have a big enough piece of this, so my piece is actually 5 by 3 7/8. So we are just going to put this down with my favorite adhesive, green glue, otherwise known as Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. You could use this side if you wanted, but I'm going to use this one, and I'll show you why here. Okay, Maggie, come here, Maggie. We are keeping a dear friend's dog for a few days, and she is out there whining, so I want her to come back. I love to use this liquid glue adhesive because, like you can see here, I didn't get it on here exactly even, and it allows me to kind of scooch it over without making any big deal. Now, the main reason I bought this stamp set, believe it or not, it does have beautiful images and lots of fun sentiments. I like this one right here, sending a card instead of a text. Who else thinks maybe we send too many texts? We're on social media a little bit too much. So I am just going to take my sentiment right here, tap, 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 and then twist, twist. And we're going to just stamp it right down here on this piece of basic white cardstock. And there it is. Of course, you can use a Stamparatus to make your life easier if you want to just make sure you get it exactly perfect. I did a pretty good job, I think, without that. Now, let me just tell you, this piece of white is 2.5 by 1.25, and this piece is 1.5 by 2.75. So once I adhere this down, there will be just a beautiful little mat. So let's just get that right on here. And again, using that liquid glue so we can get it on there perfectly. Then I'm going to grab another favorite product, my dimensionals. Now, I'm going to actually use this part right here. We don't want to waste any of that great product, so I'm going to just put it down right here. We're going to peel off that end. come grab this other piece. So there is no waste, and we're using every little bit of this sucker here. We've got a few regular ones left, and then there's a border. So when I'm done, I'll just throw that piece away. So we are going to pop that right on here, and then I am going to actually get a couple of rhinestones here just to show you. We're only going to use stamp inks and paper, but if you wanted to, you could take jewels and put some jewels on this card. You could even take your Stampin' Blend. Let's grab one here and color the rhinestone here. That's what I just love with the Stampin' Blend, and you could put it right on there. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that just because I've got it out here and I'm using my polished pink. I'm just going to color 3 quick ones here, and that is going to be permanent on there. I don't have to worry that it's coming off at all. So we're just going to take these and we're going to put it right on here. 1 and 2 and 3. Again, if you wanted to just do stamping ink and paper, just leave those rhinestones off like I did on this one, and it's still a beautiful card. Okay, now, do you want to see how I did this inside here? You're not going to believe it. It's just so easy. Here's my inside piece, 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to take my artistically inked stamp set, and I'm going to use this image right here. Now, I'm going to kind of do something a little fun. I'm going to use my pale papaya, and I'm going to stamp it, twist, and I'm going to just stamp it right here in this corner. Okay, so I've got it right there. Then I'm going to just tap it off on my scrap paper here to get off most of that ink. I'm going to get my cinnamon cider, ink it up, and I'm going to stamp off twice, and then I'm going to come in, match up this little part of my stamp right here, and there I've done my two-tone look. Now I'm going to actually clean this off camera using my Stampin' Scrub and my mist. It's the cheapest washer and dryer you will ever buy. Let's pop that back in here, because if I don't, it's going to end up probably in my garbage stuck to something else. Let's close up this ink pad here. Put it back on my shelf along with my pale papaya, but we still need to do our leaves. So I'm going to bring in Pear Pizzazz and get my leaf right here. Tap it in my Pear Pizzazz. Come over here, put 1 leaf there, and put 1 there, partial leaf. And let me come over here and put 1 right here. That looks pretty darn good, I think. Now, let's clean that off, and I'm going to show you my last fun thing on this card. Stick that back in my case. Now, I have got my metallic gold ink. So I'm going to take this little stamp right here, and I'm going to ink it up in this gold, and I'm going to just kind of turn it around here and stamp some fun little dots in the center. Doesn't that just jazz it up a little? And if you look carefully on a lot of the pieces in that designer series paper, you will see there is gold in that paper. There isn't any on this piece, but this card right here, see the gold here in the center? That was my inspiration to do the inside of this card. Then we're going to close this up so we don't get Pear Pizzazz ink all over our card. Then we're going to just, and I got ink on the back, but that doesn't matter because you're not going to see it. We are going to pop that right in the inside of our card, just like this. And voila, look at that. Stamps, paper, ink, some little embellishments colored with blends, but this little guy, just stamp, paper, ink. I bet you can do that. If you need any Stampin' Up supplies, you can find me at annbrown.stampinup.net. Hey, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up below. My blog is stampmaven.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Stampmaven. See you next time.